All right, thank you so much for joining my lecture today, and also hello to online participants, if you can see me. Right, thank you so much. So this lecture and discussion will be about K-pop and beyond, and covering some the background information about K-pop and why it has become the hottest global trend today. So this lecture also demonstrates some business and production elements of K-pop, including a demo track analysis. So it'll eventually wrap up with the future of K-pop. So do you know Psy? Right? Psy, everybody knows Psy. So he posted his music video on YouTube on July 15, 2012. 2 months later, the video hits 100 million views and making it YouTube's most popular video at the time. And now the video has reached 5 billion views. Many people see this interesting phenomenon as the inception of the K-pop's global popularity with other contents of Hallyu or K-wave. But in 2022, Psy did an interview with the New York Times. And when he was asked how Gangnam Style became so popular, and he said it was somewhat mystifying. And I think what he meant is that it's hard to pinpoint some core reasons for its success. So what do you think it's about, why this happened? Is it just purely luck, or just good timing, or part of his strategic plan, or something else? If you can say hello to your neighbor and talk to each other why K-pop or the Gangnam Style has become so popular. It's an interesting thing, and many academics suggest that there are several the reasonable indicators that K-pop's global success, and it could be a Korean government's early support for high-speed internet infrastructure, or it could be a presidential the vision in 1998 aimed at promoting the cultural industry as the new driver of Korean economy, or its killer content, combined with new technologies, or the global aspirations of K-pop labels, the Korean music industry's innovative production system, or K-pop's cultural hybridity, which appeals a global audience who are unfamiliar with Korean culture. I believe these are all good points in explaining such a phenomenon, but I think other countries also have similar access to those factors, and making it difficult to explain why C-pop or J-pop or European pop have not become incredible global sensation over the last 20 years. So I would like to take a more fundamental approach. I want to focus on the letter K, which refers to unique Korean culture and how it makes K-pop different. Korean philosopher Lee Soo-won highlighted that K-pop as a tension between K and pop. So I think understanding how the letter K makes K-pop different will illuminate our journey towards understanding the success of K-pop. Let's set up a foundation first by reviewing some historical elements and also business side of K-pop. Okay, in Korea, there is an initial term that is widely used for Korean popular music, which is Gayo. Gayo cater to the preferences and needs of everyday audiences, becoming widely popular as a mainstream genre. And in other words, because it was kitschy, Gayo was perfectly suited for commercial success. And the most widely loved Gayo genre is trot music, which was introduced to Korea from Japan in the colonial 1920s. The trot music is based on a Japanese music called enka, and it features melodies that harmonize well with the Korean the language syllabic verse, and also utilize the simple 5 notes pentatonic scales. It's very simple melodic scales, and it is characterized by singing style reminiscence of a traditional Korean music called pansori, as well as distinctive Korean vocal embellishments. So trap music resonates deeply with the emotions of Korean people who faced endless hardship during periods such as Japanese colonial era and the Korean War. So let's hear some segments of pansori and trap music for your information.
이리 오너라 옥고누랴 이리 오너라 옥고누랴 사랑 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 내 사랑이 땀에 찌든 삼배족삼 키워 입고 사르시다 서쪽 새우름 따라 하늘 가신 어머니.
Okay, so while Generation X was growing up in the 1980s and 1990s, MTV became very popular around the world. And at this time, the Korean younger people started to see trap music as some sort of old-fashioned. And one reason was that trap music, trap songs often talked about being sad and feeling sorry for oneself without really thinking about how to improve or change. And young people started calling trap music 뽕짝, and also started using the word 뽕끼, negatively describe trap music, suggesting it was too kitschy and for people with less money and less education. So another reason trap music became less popular among young people was because of the Korean government's globalization policy in early 1990s. It pushes the country to be more open to the world, and as a result, those trend-setting musicians introduced new Western musical genre such as New Jack Swing and hip hop and R&B to the Korean music industry, so becoming extremely popular among young generations. So, in 1992, the Korean music industry experienced an important cultural shift. In 1992, a boy group named 서태지앤 Boys debuted and emerged as exceptionally popular with their fusion music style and also New Jack Swing and hip hop. They later adapted elements of alternative rock alongside traditional Korean instrument and pronounced the fashion sense. So 서태지앤 Boys created a generational divide between trap listeners and then the fans of new Koreanized Western American pop music. This innovative fusion sets the groundwork for the K-pop now. And besides globalization, the emergence of K-pop was also due to the economic situation. A key moment was during the 1997 economic crisis when Korea needed help from the International Monetary Fund, and this crisis caused many record labels to shut down. Only those who shifted from being just a record label to full entertainment companies, they managed to survive. And the current SM Entertainment and the YG Entertainment are prime examples of this shift. By the way, the YG Entertainment was founded by one of the 서태지앤 Boys members, Yang Hyun-seok. This change wasn't just on creating skilled musicians anymore. Instead, the industry started looking for a total entertainer, like idols, who could appeal to the wider audience. And also to make more profit, these companies began expanding their reach beyond Korea. So it is important to understand that Korea's economy heavily relies on exporting goods as the country lacks natural resources and also isn't a big consumer market itself. Therefore, the music industry, they had to look outward to survive and thrive. In 1985, the founder of SM Entertainment, Lee Suman, who was also a popular singer back then, returned to Korea after pursuing his education in the United States. There he was influenced by the success of MTV generation and artists like Michael Jackson. And inspired by these experiences, he aimed to revolutionize the Korean music industry by implementing the optimized version of the Hollywood star system and also the Japanese idol system. So as a result, in 1995, he founded the SM Entertainment, the first K-pop entertainment company. At the time, Korean business people commonly believed that attaining the status of global economic superpower first would help export a nation's culture on a global scale, similar to the widespread influence of American cultural exports. However, the Lee Soo-man believed that by focusing on the producing the high-quality local cultural content first, and it would flow into neighboring countries and eventually catalyze the economic value for the originating country. So he developed the idea of culture first and economy next as a strategic approach to preparing for SM's cultural export. And as a byproduct of the notion, he introduced a new concept known as cultural technology, which is the systematic approach to creating a top-tier K-pop artist and content through the 4 phases: the casting, training, production, and management marketing. Now it has become the 5 phases, which is planning upfront, and then casting, training, production, and management marketing. So we'll discuss this momentarily in details. So SM Entertainment's first boy band, HOT, which stands for the High Five of Teenagers, they made their debut in 1996. And in 2000, they hosted their first overseas concert in Beijing, China. And this event marked a significant moment in the inception of Hallyu, the Korean wave, alongside the K-dramas, and were gaining popularity within the Pan-Asian countries in 1990s. At this point, other major K-pop entertainment companies they form a series of the idol groups, such as YG Entertainment, Big Bang. I guess you know Big Bang in 2006. JYP Entertainment's Wonder Girls in 2007, and the Big Hit Music's BTS in 2013. All these groups indicated or achieved incredible success and significantly contributed to the global growth of K-pop. This K-pop phenomenon in Korea is interesting because after year 2000, the listeners began to differentiate between Gayo, I just described earlier, Gayo, which is a Korean popular music intended for domestic listeners, and K-pop, which aims at a global audience. So one of the there's many differences, but one of the main differences I think lies in the matter of bonki, that the feeling from the trot music. K-pop producers have attempted to remove the bonki, the feeling of trot from the K-pop, to make it sounds more like American pop with a Korean twist. So Gayo genre emphasizes melody and lyrics that maximize Korean sentiment, whereas the K-pop avoids emotional delivery, which through lyrics and instead of aiming to provide more audience with a sensory, physical, more interactive experience. So K-pop is indeed a well-packaged commercial products for the global audience. And today, in Korea, many people still love trot music and want a certain dose of bonki in their music. I don't know if you know the singer named Im Young-woon, which is left. Is a very young trot musician, singer in Korea, and he is considered as a BTS for mid-age listeners in Korea. And also, this is a New Jeans producer, Eo-gong. New Jeans is a new girl group that I really love. He produced a revolutionary album called Bong last year, and he's trying to understand why the bonki flows in Korean, in a Korean's vein, and wanted to understand his own, if he can create his own rendition of bongchak or trap music. So This album won the best album of the year, the best music of the year, best electronic dance music of the year, and the best musician of the year last year. We have the kind of Grammy, Korean Grammy type of award last year, and he got those awards. I have a video or his music video, and it really demonstrates what the bonki means. I can play this for you, and hopefully you can get some essence of bonki. It has everything, the flow of bonki here. And when you see a video, take a look at his facial movements, his clothing, lighting, all the scene, color, you can see, and you probably grasp the kind of feeling of bonki. Okay, so let me play this for you. This is an album cover. Here's a album bong. So I don't know if you can feel the bonky here, but when you see it's everything, the sound, the smoke, the saxophone, and the bar, and then he's drinking the whiskey called Royal Blue, which is the cheapest whiskey that's available. So I don't know, it's hard to describe, but there's a full of bonky, and we just love this type of thing, So there was a video, just for your reference. Okay, you can check this one out, when you have some chance. So, so there's the part of the history of K-pop, and then bong and trap music, it plays very significant role. So I want you to remember, there's a handout, and it has some definition of bong and trap music too. So let's move on to how the K-pop is made, okay? So, the K-pop industry is characterized by the 5 distinctive specialized phases. When we make K-pop, it's became a standard right now. So we have 5 phases: planning, casting, training, production, and then management marketing. And then Lee Soo-man of SM Entertainment was the pioneer of this approach, which has now become a standard methodology among K-pop labels. Due to the time constraint, I love to focus on the planning and the production today. Interestingly, unlike traditional processes, where music production typically begins first, but K-pop industry they prioritize the concept planning, and which is done by the very unique position called A&R. In the music industry, there is a specialized position called A&R, which stands for artist and entrepreneur, artist and repertoire. In American music industry, the A&R role is to discover new artists and also new music, which is done by someone who has extensive musical background, and as the position entails, it's like an editor in a book publishing company who helps writers to be creative and get the most out of their work without interfering their creative processes. However, in the K-pop, the role of A&R has evolved into something more like a chief producer who oversees every aspect, every part of idol group creation, including new artist development, casting, training, album, artist concept planning, artist universe development, music video development, concept developments, album jackets, the other visual elements, and music, as well as music production and planning. It does not surely require the musical background. It has to be the combination of everything. It is a very unique business approach in Korea, and it is common for one person to possess the multiple skills for their efficiency. The best example will be the Min Hee-jin from Adore. Adore is a new K-pop label under the HYBE, BTS, the company, who created a new idol group called the New Jeans. Min Hee-jin worked at SM Entertainment as a visual and art director, but she understands the holistic concept of idol creation processes, and she conceptualized the current needs of fans to establish the new concept. For example, before she develops the concept of 소녀시대, which is upper left, in 2007, all Korean celebrities were somehow portrayed with a concept of mysticism. It's kind of like a vague, unclear mysticism, and fans had no idea what their singers were doing in the real life, and everything was just mysterious. But Min Hee-jin created a new standard for purity, innocent, and intimate connection with fans, contrasting with mysticism. And then after 소녀시대, FX, the upper right corner, showed a concept of a charismatic girl crush. Then Red Velvet, upper left, the balanced concept between the powerful performance and also combination of pure imagery. And now the New Jeans is new, somewhat reflecting the purity of 90s retro culture, reminiscence of 소녀시대 with pure and innocent girls. This is possible because A&Rs have multisensory abilities and the capacity to read current trends in timely manner. The highlight of the planning phase is developing the artistic universe, like a Marvel universe, Marvel universe, right? Kind of similar concept. This is a storyline of the idol group, which aims to branch out the multiple intellectual properties, and most importantly, it determines the target market. The SM's boy band, EXO, their artistic universe was considered as the masterpiece among K-pop fans, as it is well merged into their total image. EXO draws inspiration from the motif of exoplanets, which refer to the planets outside of the solar system. And then this signifies them as new star, like stars from unknown worlds, and depicting a story where aliens arrive on Earth without memories or superpowers. And they demonstrate the process of regaining their strength and eventually defeating the enemies. And then for BTS, I mean, we have, you know BTS, right? BTS case, that they demonstrate the phase of artistic universe called the Bangtan universe, which or BU, through their albums, music videos, or short films. And then first phase through their mini album called 화양연화, which means the days like flowers. Youth is the most shining moments of life, yet everyone carries their pain. There was a theme. And the second phase through their album Wings, to grow, one must break and recreate themselves. That's a second theme. And then lastly, it expressed through the album series called Love Yourself album series, with Jungkook sacrifice, they overcome pain and meet their loved ones. But this is a fake world. And the virtual world created by Jin collapses, and the members face the truth, looking at themselves, accepting the reality. And the fans are putting together the story themselves, and which really gets everybody involved in talking. In my K-pop class, students' final assignments actually to develop a new idol group, and the artistic universe is the key learning elements. After a planning phase, next is casting and also training. And then it usually takes 3 to 4 years, or sometimes 7 years to make a debut. In 2018, data shows that there's 1 million idol trainees in Korea, and only 324 succeeded, translating to a success rate of just 0.0324%. It's very, very hard to actually make debut. But so many people trying, and they make efforts. After identifying through the training process, they identified debut candidates, and then K-pop production takes place. So focusing on mainly focusing on music production first. So this is a highlight of the K-pop idol creation system, because it is the first step that produces the outcomes aligned with the idol concepts. And A&Rs work with both local and global producers to identify the best music. In the case of SM Entertainment, they are the first label that created the songwriting camp. So this is a boot camp where all the songwriters, producers, and top liners over the world, they get together in Seol, in Korea, and then produce the best music for the given idol concepts. After completing the music production portion, visual concepts are actualized, and the performance, including the choreographies, is designed, and then start shooting the music video as a promotional material. And for this lecture, I would like to focus on the top lining process. I think that many people are familiar with producers and songwriters, but top liners that might be new. So for your information, producers are the main person who direct all the musical elements, music production aspects, processes. They determine the pre and the post the production with the sonic related matters, and they work closely with A&R to make sure it delivers the music that fits the concept. But they may also contribute to the composition, arrangement, and sometimes even writing some parts, like making beats or the lyrics writing. And then songwriters, generally, they refer to those who write both lyrics and the melody of the song. And so technically, the producers and songwriters, or sometimes the artists, they get together and they sketch a song with a kind of a complete structure, and then send it to the top liner. And then top liners are the kind of songwriters who specialized in writing the catch melody and also lyrics to a pre-existing track. So they often focus on hooks and chorus and any other kind of catch melodic elements. they also contribute to creating catchword that defines the song's identity. So top liners are usually, they are great singers, and they send the most closest quality version of the song to the producer. And in K-pop world, many songwriters and top liners, they submit the demo tracks to label. And interestingly, these are always English songs. You know, they send the English song first. And then A&R and producer pick up some the best candidates, and they love to go with it. Then they polish with Korean lyrics, and then other arrangement that fit the concept. So it's interesting. It's English pop first, and then they translate into the Korean. And then, so sometimes demo songs, like that reason, demo song and actual released version can be completely different. So here I have the K-pop demo track from my students at Berklee, who are excellent songwriters and top liners. I don't know, Jenny and Sasha here? Okay, Jenny and Sasha, those are here from Berklee. Those are the wonderful songwriters and top liners from Berklee, and I got this demo from them for this lecture, so thank you so much. K-pop, or just pop music in general, has a standard song form. Usually start with intro, and then first verse, the pre-chorus, chorus, second verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and bridge, and chorus and outro. You will hear, I have the video that has text, so you don't need to memorize. K-pop emphasizes a variety of sounds and dynamics in each segment of the song form and make it very interesting. And sometimes, some extreme cases, one song has 3 or 4 genres together. You know, every segment is very unique and interesting. So the demo song from our students is a very interesting one. And then let me play the track without the melody, the top line, like just the beats and the music first. Then you can actually see, then I can play with top line, so 2 versions. So you can see the difference between without top line and with top line. And when you hear these sounds, first one, just without top line, just imagine if you're a musician, just maybe think about some hooks or some lyrics, you know. It's gonna be a fun exercise. So name is Boy Get Gone, and then Jenny Fan and Sasha Campbell. Let me play this. Okay, so there was the track without top line, and now I'm gonna play with top line. So let's see how it turns out.
Boy, get gone. Addicted, but I quit it. Get your bags out to the club, quick with it. Should know better than to mess around. No karma's gonna come around. Bad business, decisions. What you did, no, I can't forgive it. Wondering what you think you're talking about. What karma's gonna come around. No, I'm better now, better than it shows. Not coming back, never you should know. I'm better now, I'm without you. Boy, get gone. Come on, round it up, had enough, boy, your time is up. Don't you know you took it too far?
It's amazing, you know. So can you feel the difference, right? There's a top line and it's a catch, the boy get gone, and also there's a melody that really catches your ears. You remember that melody, right? That's what top liners do, making those catch ones. So if the demo is picked up by A&R and they will go through the polishing process, they're gonna put some Korean lyrics there, and then maybe it will become a completely different song, or it just still remain the essence of the catch, the melody or the words, right? So it depends on the direction of A&R and the producers. And after they debut, group debuts and the management, and marketing, and that is the next step, and including the artist management, which is the marketing and promotion. And in Korea, they have to be on TV. We have about 10 or 11 TV the music ranking show in Korea, and they have to be there first as a promotion, and they have to get the green light from the Korean audience first. That's very authentic process, and then they can go beyond. It's very interesting thing. And the highlight of the management the phase is the fan marketing. The fan, BTS ARMY fans, the crucial factor in idol success, since the significant portion of revenue stems from these activities, and the fans purchase everything, that related to the idols. And I was in Korea last January, and I was in the Myeongdong area, which is the hottest kind of spot, and there's a K-pop store. And I found it, the light stick, which is a sticks, glue stick kind of stuff, and almost like $75 one stick. I was so surprised, and that's good, they buy it, they're loyal to their idols. So I covered the brief history, and then please remember the 뽕기, and also some production elements. Please remember top lining process. That's very unique to Korea. And now I will cover some Korean culture that I personally believe that is the driving factor of global success of K-pop. And it is really a subjective idea, so it doesn't necessarily universally true, but see how you perceive this, because it is really important to know some culture inside of Korea and how it became some sort of a foundational elements for like a K, K in front of K-pop. Okay, so I had a chance to speak with a well-known Korean American, the K-pop producer who has been working in the industry for like a long time as a global level. And he said a very interesting point that many Korean musicians, they demonstrate a very high understanding of singing, so it is easier for to work with them. And while I cannot generalize this claim, but as a native Korean, I kind of see where it comes from. So how many of you love karaoke? Karaoke, like singing, right? It is, it is a very fun entertainment, and especially with family and friends, right? In Korea, almost everyone loves karaoke culture. Korean people actually call it 노래방, which translate as a singing room. Instead of Japanese term, the karaoke, meaning fake orchestra. So around 1988, when the Japanese karaoke system first arrived in the southern part of Korea, Busan city, it was known as a form of entertainment with a strong decadent tendency involving alcohol consumption, also hostess culture. But in 1992, just around the corner from the new musical trend led by Seol boys and other emerging artists, that was well received by younger generation. The 노래방 business was legalized by Korean government as a form of a safe, public family entertainment. So consequently, people started using the word 노래방 over karaoke to differentiate its general purpose. And I remember in 1992, when I just graduated from high school, and how I became obsessed with the 노래방, which it allowed me to sing like a professional singer, like the reverb, the microphone, the mirror ball, like a mirror balls with fancy lightings, all combined to create a fantastic new experience that made my singing truly shine. I'm not a good singer, by the way, but it was really good. And after, every time we drink, we would go to sing like a superstars. And I believe we shared a common sentiment at the time. As a young people, we had finally found a way to express our collective feelings about the challenges we faced temporarily without having to look at our parents' face. So 노래방 was our haven where we could truly be ourselves and our own version of superstars. I think this 노래방 culture, promoted by the extreme popularity of amateur singing contest programs, could possibly explain my Korean producer friends' the observation on Korean musicians' ability to possess the high-level singing skills and quickly immerse themselves into the new trend and also technology collectively. Because the singing audition programs were extremely popular, and many K-pop stars debuted through these platforms, and many of these young stars were part of the 노래방 generation. So theoretically speaking, the more they use the facility, the better they become at singing. And 노래방 provide a simple and affordable starting point for actualizing these dreams, serving as a driving factor for people who pursue their K-pop aspirations. One of the participants from the very popular audition program who became a successful K-pop top liner told me if 노래방 still exists, there is good chance he might not have improved enough to become a vocalist. So in 2019, there were 37,994 노래방s in Korea. Between 2021 and 2022, the new 노래방 businesses were registered with an increase of 83%. So I surveyed a little bit. I believe that Korea is the only country that demonstrates the extreme popularity of 노래방 culture, which is the uniquely Korean phenomenon that propels the artistic and creative part of the K-pop. And here's another one. On November 28, 2023, Park Jin-young, the founder of one of the big four K-pop entertainment companies, JYP Entertainment, the father of Stray Kids, he shared a very interesting perspective as a guest of a YouTube channel. He said one of the driving factors behind the K-pop success is the overcommitments from both labels and fan side. I think it is an important point. So the Korean word that describes the corporate overcommitments is 야근, which translates to overnight work. And Koreans would understand the notion of 야근 in a social context as reflecting both voluntary and involuntary generational attitude toward their corporate work. So voluntary means is based on the companionship that Korean employees support each other. For example, I recall my time at a Korean company in the 90s. When I would help my colleagues finish their work and simply spend time together in the office until the late at night, and after finishing work, it became the common to wrap up a day with dinner, with drinks, and certainly we visited 노래방 afterwards, and we kind of decompressing our work stresses, and fully charged for next day. But it was also involuntary because of the Korean the culture of corporate hierarchy. That if our supervisors were in the office, we could not leave work even though we finished all of our assigned tasks. It was because we demonstrate respect for elders and also supervisors, which originated from the deep Confucius culture in Korea. So, but it has improved, across the most industry sectors to adapt the MZ generation's preferences for work-life balance. However, the K-pop labels likely still exhibit this type of yagen culture, overcoming overnight work culture. Now, K-pop labels have become capable of opening many regular and temporary positions due to its explosive growth. Many young K-pop label employees demonstrate their passion toward what they love to do and their consistent loyalty to their idol groups and the labels behind them. The K-pop business managers acknowledge the necessary overtime commitments to produce a fruitful result as a necessary evil. But many young workers eventually burned out due to the unbearable amount of work and lack of rewarding system. So data shows that the K-pop industry average employee retention rate is just about 3.7 years, which is shorter than seen in other sectors where the average employee tenure stands around 11 years. So overcommitments, whether the voluntary or involuntary, is part of the bittersweet success factor. But on top of the overcommitments from the label side, what Park Jin-young articulated about overcommitment from fans offered intriguing perspective on this, its contribution to the success of K-pop industry. This phenomenon known as a fandom is a byproduct of a Korean K-pop industry and represents a uniquely Korean thing that has rarely been seen in the US pop market. Here, fans willingly spend their own financial resources to promote their favorite superstars. For example, K-pop fandoms are posting their birthday advertisements for their idol members in hot ad spots, major global cities, including Times Square in New York City. Like, see, jeans, This is a triumph of the K-pop entertainment marketing strategy that initiated the fan-driven promotional materials. In addition, the active purchase of physical album and merchandise by fans, including sales of distinctive the idol light sticks, significantly contributed to the fan side of the overcommitment vector of K-pop success, because the fans technically buy the physical albums, the CDs, and album sales in Korea, the physical album sales, CD sales have increased over the years, in contrast to the global decline in such revenue. And 2023, total physical album sales in Korea exceeded 100 million copies. And the most interesting thing is that fans are buying physical albums without even having CD players. As a matter of fact, they can listen to the free tracks on YouTube with fancy music videos, right? So I think it is like a smoking gun of the fans' overcommitments. They buy everything. They buy everything for their idol groups, which really drives the rise of K-pop. And then the last one, quickly, the one aspects of Korean culture I found very interesting to share is the YouTube culture in Korea. I don't know how many of you know mukbang, or the eating show, is massively popular. Even you see this. And in 2024, Korea is indeed a YouTube republic, with smartphone users in Korea spending average of 40 hours per month watching YouTube, nearly doubling the figure in 5 years. Number of monthly active YouTube users is 41 million people, which is 80% of whole Korean population. And this shows a large number of Korean use YouTube. In 2023, the top 5 career aspirations among elementary school students were athletics, the medical doctors, teachers, and YouTubers. and chefs. YouTuber ranks fourth on the list and remaining its position in top 5 since 2018. So additionally, many Korean salaried workers ventured into the world of YouTube as the second job, as this trend was accelerated by the pandemic. So data of March 2024 shows that top 5 countries with a silver award YouTube channels, subscribers numbering more than 100,000, but fewer than 1 million. India first, and then US, Brazil, Indonesia, and Korea. When I calculate the ratio of these channels to the population of Korea, which is around 51 million people, is the number 1 country in terms of possessing the most silver award channel per capita. Worldwide, and then after, next one will be the United States. This phenomenon has spurred the emergence of the new content creator economy in Korea. So what's the outcome? YouTube has emerged as an organic marketing platform for K-pop labels, and Korean YouTubers tend to produce high-quality uploads featuring the latest K-pop content. Consequently, global listeners often discover K-pop idols through YouTube, and this initial exposure leads them to explore the further contents. And this engagement deepen their affection for the artist, facilitated by the high-quality content. They come to realize that their connection with the K-pop stars can evolve into a community where shared interests flourish. So this began as early as 2013 when BTS started posting their own videos, allowing global fans to discover them even before other groups began using YouTube as their main platform. So this YouTube culture has created a subculture within K-pop, featuring the remix videos. It's very popular, and cover song performances, mashups, 2 different genres together create a completely new K-pop songs, reaction videos, parodies, and more. Do you remember the plethora of parodies of Gangnam Style videos? There wasn't even one featured MIT professor Noam Chomsky. All these examples demonstrate the power of YouTube, which has become the integral part of the K-pop success. I have this the Chomsky video. Let's view this together.
Open Chomsky style.
Okay, so now we explore the history and then the business side, and then my own kind of subjective idea of K-pop's global success, the culture. And I have prepared for the future of K-pop, but instead of giving you like whole another 20 minutes of a lecture, I think I'm gonna turn that as a discussion. It might be interesting. So I'm really eager to hear what thoughts on what you envision for the future of K-pop. In other words, how the K-pop can sustain its global success and truly establish as a genre that is embraced by global citizens everywhere. So I have this one question, and let's start with this question. Is Korean language necessary in K-pop? And I know it's kind of weird, but I want you to talk to your neighbor. As a brainstorm, what do you think? The K-pop needs K-pop, the Korean language or not? It's not a yes or no answer. It's a very delicate answer, the discussion. So I give you maybe 1 or 2 minutes, and I have some microphone. Let's turn this as some sort of discussion plus Q&A. So if you have any questions about my lecture, you can also ask the questions. But I would love to have this moment to talk about the future of K-pop together. Okay, and the online participants also see this question and maybe think about the factor that do we need the language, the K-pop, Korean language in K-pop. It's the first question, and it's gonna be interesting. Okay, all right. Yeah, don't be shy. I mean, shy. You just talk to your friends and families. It's interesting stuff. And I have two microphones here. Okay, so any brave audience want to share your opinion about the question I pose? Is Korean language necessary in K-pop? We have a microphone flowing around. Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting. And I think I pose the same question to my students too, and we have very interesting answers. There's no right or wrong answer to this question.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. I have a question, maybe related to this, related to your lectures. I was curious if you could talk a little bit about gender, because I don't really see any boy-girl groups. They're sort of like all boys, all girls. And then you made a comment about the girl groups were more about purity and all this, and yet they're sort of dressed like Britney Spears was back in the day. So, I mean, I'm just sort of curious about, is that, I know Korea is more of a male-dominated culture, so I don't know if that's going to change, but that's just the question I had.
Yeah. Yes, of course. I'll answer the question briefly. It is like, I guess, the hours of the discussion. It's not an easy question to answer, but I have my own. I thought about this a lot as I'm teaching the domestic students and international students too. So I think there's two ways to see this phenomenon. If we see K-pop as it's just purely industry, then it's driven by market. So if market needs to see boy groups and girl groups, then the labels, their objective is to maximize their benefits, so they will produce boy group and girl groups. And now the world has been evolving into the new era of the discussions, and if market will see that as some sort of new direction, then I do believe that people will change. That's one way to look at this through the lens of economic, purely money, purely money. There are groups, there different gender. Today was actually our final exam, the presentation of my K-pop class, and they have to come up with their new idol group, and one group present as the mixed gender K-pop group, mixed racial too, and it was very interesting, very interesting. As I said a little bit, I indicated before, in Korea, all those K-pop new idol groups they debut, they have to get a green light from the Korean audience first. They have to come to the TV shows or any type of the entertainment shows to promote themselves. And Korea still, we are working really hard to make that better in terms of gender equality and this very important topic. But still, in K-pop fans who grew up in Korea, who speaks Korean, they want to see the Korean culture embedded into the idol groups. So they love and they get the endorsement first, and then the fandom creates. And then, right, the BTS is a very unique case because the BTS fandom was coming from the outside of the Korea first. Because when they debut in 2013, their labels had nothing. They're a very small label, so they didn't have that much opportunity to compete with SM or YG or JYP. So they had to do something new and technically let members just share your social media videos, and then it became the message for the global, and the global called them first. So that's my second type of perspective. It will take some time because it all depends on the culture in Korea, because still they have to be endorsed by Korean market first. But there's an interesting article. We have this handout. There is one book, the first one, the Cambridge Companion to K-pop. They just came out last year. It has one chapter. It's very interesting and it's very comprehensive. They might answer your question a little more deeper level, but it's delicate. It's very delicate. But I would love to, think about this for now as a industry, is a commodity, which links to the question of, can K-pop become a culture or stays as just a product? That's a big question. I personally want to see K-pop like a hip-hop. It could become culture, but I don't know how long it'll take. But one thing for sure is that we are, reaching the highest kind of level. So it'll change, I'm pretty sure, but I think it'll change. It'll take some time. I'd love to, show you the student, the club's new idol. We'll probably showcase that in the coming month. So how it goes, because they love to do that. The mixed gender, the K-pop groups.
Hi, thank you for the lecture. It was very interesting. Do you see any crossover between K-pop and hip-hop?
Yeah, so it's my subjective opinion, and we discussed K-pop, the foundation of K-pop came from the early 1990s, the kind of new phenomenon based on New Jack Swing and hip hop and R&B, which is mainly the black music, and that is, to me, is very deep, the core elements of K-pop when you compare to J-pop and other elements, other pop music. J-pop, by the way, is rock based. There is mainly rock. It's very interesting. Very good music there too. But K-pop somehow, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but me personally, we love the groove, dancing, the elements of hip hop, the fact that it's more social justice inside there too, and what we see as the genre, the popular genre in the United States, the music industry, we feel this kind of similar thing happening in Korea, that because hip hop is massively popular in Korea. If someone argues authenticity of hip hop, then we don't have an answer, because we don't have hoods, kind of a similar the culture, but we invented our own rhyme and flow with our own language. So technically, everybody trying to actually revolutionize the hip hop music, and almost every K-pop song has a rap inside, where there's like core facts or elements that audience love to hear. And the K-pop, the lyrics, as we say, it's a pure, means there's no like explicit kind of expression. It's all about love and kindness, and because our parents in Korea, they love their kids to hear the most kind of like a kind level of pop music. So we don't have that the culture, like hip hop culture, but it's been a while that we've been actually incorporating hip hop and R&B into the genre itself, and now the production quality is amazing. We have a lot of good rappers. You'll be surprised. MFA, I contributed to the list of 21 songs, K-pop songs that you should listen to. There's a link, I think, an MFA website. I included one Korean-American hip-hop duo, Yaks, Year of the Ox, amazing performers. They're Korean American living in LA and just incredible performers. So yeah, I think it's very closely related. There's a link between K-pop and hip-hop. Yeah. Any other questions about? Yes.
Oh, 1 second.
Thank you. You were talking about the importance of the mystical elements in K-pop. Could you explain a little bit more how they get expressed in the music?
You mean the kind
The
of mysticism?
mysticism, yeah.
Mysticism. Yes. So it was before K-pop emerged. All the celebrities and the singers, let's say like famous singers, we had no idea what they are doing, and then we are kind of interested in their personal life, but like a Hollywood, and they clearly open their lifestyles, but in Korea, there's not the case before the K-pop arrived. So it was just a sort of culture in Korea that because they use as a marketing some sort of mysticism that it has to have some sort of aura and mystery figure, and then there was a market reaction to the industry and the product itself. And then someone like Min Hee-jin from Adore, she saw that industry now needs to connect, and now they want to see, the fans want to see what they do every single day, every single life. So mysticism, as for now, is almost, I don't think that there's no K-pop group that pursue the image of mysticism anymore, because that's the driving factor of their success. They have to open and they have to share their lifestyles, like BTS. The everyday activities. They has to be like someone who next door. That's the thing. But as I said, K-pop is still, it is industry. So if market, we've been seeing a lot of interaction with, we're able to actually talk to them, and there's a couple of platforms that are fan engagement. They actually can chat, and it's a very intimate relationship. What if in a few years later, we do this for about 5 or 6 years, and now I got bored, and what if I want to see some superstars that I can have my own story, mysticism. If market wants that way, then I'm pretty sure there will be a couple of new idol groups that has no interaction. But the technology and now social media is a big part of marketing, and it's also a very affordable way to be global. So maybe some conceptually, they will use mysticism as their main driver or image. But maybe half and half, I'm not sure. But it wasn't like 1990s. Now everybody knows what they do, and they really wants to know, just their life. So yeah.
I am very poorly informed, but I believe there was recently, was it a female K-pop artist who apologized because she got a boyfriend? So the sense of your life is sort of owned by the fans and the public, the need to be completely open. I'm just curious about the tension between that and sort of artistry.
Yes. That's also one of the questions that I got from today's final presentation, that one students group, they have the mixed gender team, right? And I think it was 3 boys and 4 girls, something like that. And one of the questions was, what if they have a relationship, and what if the fans find out, and then what's gonna be? And some students answered, that's also marketing too, everybody wants to see some sort of relationship in those, then there could be some buzz they can create, There's nothing about bad marketing. Anything they talk about you is good marketing. But that's a good question. Because we historically, we try to have mixed gender, and also, the relationship, it matters in Korean culture, that it historically failed a little bit, production-wise. We had a couple of groups as boy and girls inside together, and because the fandom that they want to know, what's going on in real life. And when fan finds out that everything is just fake or story, then also they get really mad too, because they need the authentic relationship. That's my brother or sister. You never touch. That's my family, kind of. So it is very Korean, embedded in Korean culture, but I kind of understand, because we open up with the intimate relationship as a marketing technique or strategy, then there's some sort of, I would say, not a side effects, but also the different side of the byproduct, the effects that came from the marketing strategy. Well, I would love to see personally, that's still, to me, people talk about, and I would love to see people still creating their own story of what if, what if that's a good, especially younger generation, that's a good hot topic, right? So, yeah, but I understand it become a social problems too, not just for the K-pop stars, the other stars, who's gonna get married with this person? That's very interesting and hot topic these days too, yeah. Okay, yes.
First, I wanted to thank you. This was a really amazing lecture. And just very quickly, my friend and I did try and talk about your question. And I think Tracy was great at saying, well, BTS has sung in all English, so I think it's been done. But my question has more to do with the law and how that has interacted with K-pop. I imagine that licensing is a huge part of merchandising to the fans you're talking about, but I'm wondering about copyright law in Korea and what influence that has had on creativity. I'm thinking a lot about the time when rap in its infancy had a lot of sampled music, and then copyright law came and took that away, and that really did a number on a number of different groups, and forced the music to go a different way. Is it still too early to tell, or have there been changes in the law that have shaped K-pop?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and it's also delicate to answer. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know the law specifically, but I know how it goes. So once in a while, like I would say maybe every 7 or 8 years, something, then in Korea there's something happen. Let's say it's a very famous musicians, they've been infringing the copyright law, and actually whatever they produce was kind of, originated from some other ideas, and they steal those. The most recent one was one of those very famous composer and leader. He also faced the issue with copyright, and because of that reason, same as the fans wants to not interfere but chime in the relationship between the artist. If artist, idol group or composer or producer has the tendency of infringing other creative work, then it becomes a major problem. Not because they against the law, it's a moral. The Korean, the stars and the famous celebrities are faced by the moral challenge, a lot. So it's a moral issue. When it occurs in Korea as a moral issue, then it's not easy to get out, especially like copyright infringement or drinking and drive stuff. It's just technically you're done with your career. So I think because of that reason, we have very robust law system, and also we have, I guess, KOKA, the government agency that mandates some part of the copyright law, and also everybody registered as registered artist who protects, because of that culture embedded in Korea, that we looking forward to having the perfect artist who never make any problems. So that dictates the culture of copyright to a little bit. It's a law, obviously it's a bad thing to against the law, but also behind there's a very strong ethical and moral stance. So it gets better, and especially like YouTube, I talked about new sub-genre, subculture on the YouTube that has a lot of remix, mashups. You know, they use actually stems, vocal stems from actual album. It's a technology that whatever you use, still the revenue goes to the original. It's AI system. The revenue recognize, YouTube recognize that stems, and it goes to, their label. But sometimes the labels let it happen because it's a good way to promote their music too. So especially New Jeans, my favorite girl group, New Jeans case, their mashup, remakes culture is huge in YouTube. And finally, they released the remake version of their songs, which was very smart move, because everyone wants to see the remake version of the thing that they've been actually listening to, from the YouTube. The culture, they understand the culture very well. So I would say, to answer your question, yeah, it gets better, but Korea is a very unique place. It's not just about law, it's ethics and moral issue. So I think it gets better and better because they're very strong, the layers that protects the copyright system and law. Yeah.
All right, I think that's a lovely place to end. Thank you so much for your lecture today. Thank you so much for coming today to the program.